Hey guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor Channel. My name is Ryan, coming to you from the Big Apple, New York City, New York. So good to be with you. On this particular channel, I just want to tone it down a little bit and talk to some beginning investor tips. This will probably be a series of videos that I come up with and just talk to people. Really, the whole intent of the Independent Investor Channel is to just empower one investor at a time, and there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of responsibility because, you know, when I talk to people just looking to start out in the market, it can be extremely intimidating, and I get that. I used to be there. Something that's really difficult for me is I've invested for most of my life, and it's sometimes really hard to kind of put myself in the position of a beginning investor, guys. But I watch a lot of information out there online, not only just on YouTube, okay? And I always sit back and I ask myself, what would it mean for somebody listening and trying to extract good information from this information? What would it mean if I actually deployed some of this information? What would it actually mean? And I think a lot of people want to get wrapped up in the emotional piece to investing. They want to get, you know, wrapped up and excited about making a lot of money. And they want to get wrapped up in the potential of maybe investing to quit their job. On the Independent Investor Channel, we're really just trying to provide people an alternative method of investing that's unknown. There's really not a lot of people investing on their own. And a lot of people, when they hear about self-managed investing, it's scary. It's such a scary thought that most people push the idea away and would never even think to entertain it. But I contend that there are people out there just like I was, who was looking for something different, was looking for something that I could take charge of. For years, I just assumed that the way we had to invest was in one particular manner. I thought that to provide me that visibility and that accessibility to the financial markets, I had to go through a third party, guys, and that just couldn't be further from the truth. And I can tell you, most people still work on this false pretense that you have to get some sort of assistance or you have to go through some sort of financial planner to get that exposure to the market, guys, and you just don't. All right? So, guys, this is just going to be a breakdown for beginning investors to start thinking about some of the things to prepare you to become an investor. All right? And I will premise it in this way. Nothing is really going to prepare you to take that first step to starting to realize your hard-earned dollars taking different forms, okay? Especially with buying stock. A lot of people, if I were to say, well, if you went out and bought 10 shares of Apple, you know, that's going to run you $1,400. And for somebody that's starting out in the market, that really seems, it's really hard to perceive because $1,400 is a lot of money. And you think, man, 10 shares? What does that mean? What does it mean to own 10 shares of a company, right? And you don't have those validations when you start. All you know is what you've heard or what little bit you've been able to research or what little bit of credible information you've been able to find online. Good luck with that, guys. I do not envy the new investor nowadays that just doesn't understand a whole lot about the stock market, because I tell you what, most of the information that you get online is baloney. It's garbage. All right? It's going to mislead you. It's going to end up putting you in positions that are, it's going to put you into taxable situations, and it's going to put you into positions where you're involved with a financial planner and they're taking your money. In the financial world, there's so many things out there. There's so many vultures, basically, that are looking to be predatory on people's money, and it's really unfortunate. All right, guys? So please just enjoy this quick 3-point breakdown of just investing for beginners. Where do I start? How do I start? What are some of the things that I need to have in place before I start? All right? Now, the first thing you really need to try to get a hold of is debt, okay? Credit card interest rate could run anywhere from 6 all the way up to 30%, okay? We really need to take a conscious effort to try to get that negative account balance that's hurting you every month under control and back to a manageable level, guys. And I'm not going to tell you what that magical level is, all right? I'm going to be doing follow-on videos on getting credit card debt under control in a really, really alternative method, guys, to save you a pile of money. But really, there's no shortcut to overpaying minimum payments to credit cards. And you've heard this before. The interest rate is just going to chew you up. So it doesn't do me any good, and it doesn't do you any good to start looking at, you know, investment vehicles that are going to provide you with, you know, positive interest rates of 7 to 10%, when on the other hand you're losing 10 to 15% of interest on the credit card side of it. All right, guys. So the very first thing that you can do is manage that debt, and what comes with managing debt is getting a good, you know, idea of what your inflow of money is. You know, a lot of people that I know that you know, that have problems with investing, you know, they really have a real headache with the investment idea, in that people struggle, you know, all the time just to meet ends meet, just to buy groceries and food and clothing for their children, guys. And I've been there. I've been there and done that. I don't come from means, you know. That's why I can speak to people who are working hard every day, you know, or working hard to put a little bit of money away, guys. But the worst thing you can possibly do is allow this to kind of consume you. So until we start talking about building, you know, our account portfolios and looking what goes in there, you really need to get the debt under control and try to eliminate that, get it down to a manageable level. All right. The second thing is to have an emergency fund. And there's so many cliches out there about working to have 6 months of emergency funds available to you. Guys, if you're young, do not work for years and years and years trying to build up 6 months of income at the expense of starting an investment Roth IRA at $25 a month. I contend that you can do both, all right? And if you're out there listening to this and you're interested in investing, guys, you can really, really get ahead of the game by starting that investment account as early as you can in the game, okay? But understanding that if you're investing every dollar that you have, or every dollar that comes in, and you don't have money to live on, or if you don't have money to, you know, deal with an unforeseen accident, or, you know, you need an emergency fund, right? It's not going to do you any good to invest dollars, because on the Independent Investor channel, guys, we encourage you to put those dollars away indefinitely. Okay? Don't get me wrong. I don't advocate for investing to live off of, or investing to quit your job. All right? In my mind, I know what it takes to have, I know what type of money or how much money it takes to actually quit your job, all right? And people would be astonished to know what it takes, but there's people out there advocating that you can invest in the stock market and quit your day job. Keep your day job, okay? Find what it is in life that makes you happy, and investing should just be a small piece to your overall health and well-being, right? It's just a small piece, your financial piece, all right? And that's kind of what I work to help you guys with. So have an emergency fund set up, guys. It's arbitrary. It's different for everybody. What you guys, you know, figure, you know, if it's $3,000 or $4,000 in your account, or if it's, you want to go with the recommended 6 months of income, guys, that's a lot of money to work up and have at least a little bit of savings account, all right, built up before you actually start, all right? Now, the last thing that we want to talk about for new investors, guys, and again, this is a position that I just want to be crystal clear on. If you're tuning into the Independent Investor channel, I really, really want you to pay particular attention to this. You are not going to find this information online. You are not going to hear this from friends, okay? Because nobody's doing it, all right? You heard it here first. You're going to hear it from the Independent Investor channel, and you're not going to hear it anywhere else. Nobody else is talking about it. I've yet to meet anybody outside of my immediate family that enjoys the fruits of self-managed investing. But But you are not going to talk to financial institutions. They're not going to push this information. Banking and financial institutions, they are not going to recommend. If you walk into a bank and you're asking to start an investment account, guys, they're going to put you into the highest fee account. They're going to drop a few mutual funds in there. They're going to take your money. They're going to dollar cost average it, dividend reinvestment, and they're going to take every single dollar away from you that they possibly can. All right, guys? So the single most important thing that you can possibly do, and the number one thing that we advocate for on the Independent Investor channel, is that if you're out there and you have $0 invested in the market, up to a potential $5,500 of money that needs to be invested, the sole most important thing that you can do, the very best thing that you can do with your starting amount, is to start the right account. It's to start the right account. If you guys do whatever research you have to do to validate this, look in my eyes and tell me I'm not intense about this topic, guys. I feel like I have the world's greatest secret and nobody knows about it. And so that's kind of what YouTube allows me to do, is push my niche, my world's greatest secret out there to you guys, because I've been liberated for a while. I work on a nominal median income in the United States of America. I enjoy the fruits of my job and I enjoy the fruits of my labor. But when I found out about self-managed investing, guys, it was liberating. It was one of the most important things that I've ever entered into in my life, and especially my financial life. Best move I ever made. And for you guys that are looking to start investing, guys, I will just end on this note. There's so much information out there online about how to invest your first $1,000, how to invest $5,000, invest in this stock, invest in that stock, invest in this, you'll make money overnight, invest in this, you can quit your day job. Guys, you have to be critical about this information, all right? I'm not putting out this channel to entertain you. I'm here to let you in on what I feel is the biggest secret in the financial industry. And if you're tuning into this channel, you're now privy to the best secret out there, and that's self-managed investing, guys, because you will escape the fees and you'll be able to put your money away tax-free. Guys, start to think of the possibilities. Start to think about leaving your children some sort of a legacy by entering into some of these positions. Cornerstones is what I refer to those, inside of a well-diversified portfolio. When you start to add ETF products, which are exchange-traded funds within these accounts, that gives you immediate diversification within those accounts. But when you start to get those accounts built up, and you're adding accounts like Apple computers, and you're adding stocks like Procter Gamble, and you're adding stocks like Disney, guys, those have done nothing but pay back investors over time. And I will just leave you with this. There's so many people online as well pushing out stocks that are high growth, super high growth stocks, super high price to earnings ratios, which means they're really, really expensive stocks. And they're arguing against, you know, some of the best, most established stocks in the industry. And I find it funny because, you know, I've been investing my whole life. I've read so many books on investing. And the key to proper investing in the stock market is so much simpler. It's so much easier than people think. It is so much easier. You do not have to be an analyst. You do not have to be a broker. All you have to do is have some initiative to sit back for a second and say, is he right? Can I honestly invest in my own account? Can I trade stock within that account? Can I buy stocks within my retirement account? Can I do so without the stranglehold of fees? Guys, if you're going to do one of two things, either you're going to watch this video and you're going to say, self-investing, not for me, too scary, don't want it, thank you very much, and I'm out. And I respect that, I really do. But for those of you out there that are, if I've perked your curiosity, there's a reason. And I highly encourage you to act on that. Don't let this video just turn off and then you forget about the message of self-managed investing. Guys, it is that important. The single goal on the Independent Investor channel is to empower one investor at a time, guys. Are you going to be that investor? Are you going to be that person that takes control of your financial future? Are you going to be that person that sits across from me, a YouTuber that you have no idea who I am, and listen to my message and derive some level of sincerity from my video? Guys, I am the most sincere person out there, and this is something that I do myself. And I've done a lot of videos on the impact of fees within traditional managed accounts, guys. And if you can just eliminate those fees, right? If you can come back to point number 3 and just start that self-managed IRA, the self-managed Roth IRA, start to fund that account. Get used to dollar cost averaging. Get used to just funding that account, okay? Because now you've just started, and just because you're funding that account, right, the money will start to flow into this at $25 or $50 or $75 or $100, whatever it is that you deem necessary, just to start funding that account, okay? Just start funding it. As the months go by, you're going to generate some income within this, all right? And when you guys feel ready to start putting those dollars away, I'm rest assured that I can push out information to recommend that every single viewer that's watching the Independent Investor channel starts with the self-managed Roth IRA account, guys. Why? Because it's going to provide you the tax shelter until you're 59 and a half years old, all right? It's going to allow those positions that I talked about within that account, right? Your legacy cornerstones for your children or for you in retirement, your Disney, your Apple, your Facebook, if you want to add that to your account, your Google, any of these well-established companies out there, guys. And here's one last thought to kind of leave you guys with, to kind of get you excited about investing. And I really want you to take this to heart. If so many people out there online are pushing the next best thing, or the next best product, or the next best stock that's going to somehow go up 50%, I want you to think about this for a second. Over the history of the market has paid out 70% of its wealth. 70% of its wealth in the form of dividends. Now, dividends is a payment paid to a stock owner for just owning the stock. It's basically a bonus, all right? It's very simple to think about it in those terms. It's basically just a quarterly bonus for owning the stock. It's free money, okay? It's free money paid to you. Now, 70% of the wealth is paid in the form of dividends, guys. So why are so many people online seeking growth? Why? I don't have an answer for you. I don't know. That's why on the Independent Investor channel, we take a different approach. We take the approach of establishing the very best of breed. We take the approach of taking the very best stocks along a number of different sectors and building yourself a diversified portfolio on the self-managed side of it that you don't need to actively manage, guys. You can put the money into these positions, set them up for dollar cost averaging going forward, and you can let those accounts grow over the years, guys. And trust me, the benefits of doing that are insurmountable. There's no other account you can compare it to, and nobody else online is talking about it. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to my breakdown of stock investing for new investors. This will probably be one of the most important messages, guys, and I hope I've done my best to get through to you guys. My intent on this channel is just to help everybody out there. If I can empower you know, one investor at a time, to really take that step back and kind of ask for themselves, is this for me? Is this something that I can do? And I'm here to tell you that you can. Guys, if you've enjoyed the content and you enjoy the sincerity of the message, please do yourself a favor, subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be notified of future videos. Leave your comments in the bottom section. If you guys have questions about some of the terminology that I've put out there, leave your comments in the lower section, guys. I leave detailed comments to you guys. I value every comment I get, guys. YouTube has to be more interactive. It cannot be only about just entertainment, all right? It has to be a balance of entertainment and credibility, guys. And I can tell you what, there's nothing more entertaining than making money. Nothing more entertaining than seeing your accounts go up. Nothing more entertaining than taking pride in the decisions that you make and taking ownership back over your financial future, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up button. Share this link with anybody that you know out there that's looking to start investing, that's looking to start their accounts up. Hopefully this progression of 1, 2, 3 kind of helps give you just a foundation of some of the philosophies going forward and some of the things to start approaching the market in a calculated manner. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Good luck in your financial futures.